emotion is rage.
Hi, I'm Bobsto, the Outer Weeb,
And I'm Red, the bald-headed wonder.
and we are the Anime
The
Boys.
anime boys. I have a
Anime
monster, and I
Boys.
am ready to go, my
Uh,
guy.
hell yeah. Before that, I want to say that was a pretty sick ass intro animation you made.
I know, dude. I had to.
I
I had
really
to.
enjoyed it. You broke off those limiters. You took off the weights like Rock Lee did,
I sure did,
and
dude.
you fucking did some shit, and I really like it. I told you go balls to wall, and then you. I don't think it was a wall anymore.
Yeah, I
Um,
had to hammer through that mug. I just, I had to break
yeah,
that
dude.
expectation,
Yeah, dude.
dude.
Exactly.
I was
But
so lit when I was making that too. It was incredible. It looked
mhm.
amazing. Oh,
but without further ado, we have a very special episode today.
yes,
We're
sir.
we're covering Mob Psycho 100, is an,
Oh,
which is an anime that I was was one of the big formative anime I watched during high school, and it's something I really fucking enjoyed. It's based off a manga made by One, who also did One Punch Man, which that
yeah.
got super popular as well. But there are some aspects of this I'd actually argue I think like Mob Psycho a little bit more in some areas than One Punch Man. I don't know if
Honestly, if I had to take my pick of the two, it would definitely be this one.
uh,
I've
it's
watched
like don't get me wrong, like
some of the
One
first
Punch Man
season
is
of One Punch Man.
uh
And as much as I've been wanting to get right back into it and keep watching it, every
mhm.
time I start watching it, I just kind of have to move on. And I think it's just
Yeah,
because it's not my thing. But when I
yeah.
watched this, I was thinking the
Hmm.
exact same thing.
Hmm. Like I really like One Punch Man. It has some good moments within it, but this is like the level of like character depth and character writing that this show does
It is
is on like a
crazy.
whole it's on a whole nother level. And it's great. I really like it. So without further ado, join us as we embark on a journey of self-discovery and sick psychic powers.
Oh my
If you like
gosh.
common psychics and self-improvement, then you're sure to love Mob Psycho 100.
Mob Psycho.
So
So
the
let's
first episode,
yeah,
so
let's
yeah,
just
let's
talk
let's get
about
into it.
this. Let
So the
me
first
start off
episode,
actually. Hang on.
I
So let me just be the elephant in the room here and say, at first I wasn't about it. Like, I really wasn't. I started watching it and I got JoJo vibes. I was like, nah, this ain't gonna be it. Like, this ain't it. This ain't my guy. I told Bobsto, I was like, look, man, I'll give it 5 episodes. If I don't like it, we might have to move on.
and
And
then I said that sounds understandable, but that's kind of bitch talk.
it kind of was. It was some bitch talk, man. I was being a little
Yeah,
baby back wiener heads. What I was being.
yeah,
Uh, but that first episode, it started off with that weird, like really cool but weird
yeah,
acid
yeah.
trip.
No,
Like
it go the first the opening to the first episode. It goes like so hard for no reason.
it really does.
Like
Like the show
it's so
opens
much
up with
crazy
so much
shit.
energy that you just don't know
Yeah.
what to do with all of it. And then it goes from like
It's just
super crazy energy to nothing.
yeah, yeah. No,
um,
it's fucking like you got this like shadowy version of like Mob just fucking fighting all these weird abstract like alien looking creatures,
yeah.
and everything's so fucking like wavy and shit's just going fucking nuts. And it's a very strange way to open, but also I'm gonna be honest, I really appreciate it because it was really sick.
Oh my
But no, it
gosh.
goes way harder than it should. But then we get that. We go into a nice little just opening narration about psychics and whatnot, and how some of them use their powers to like fight off evil spirits. And that's where
Yeah.
we meet our first our main one of our main guys, the Chad himself,
Oh yeah.
Reagan,
Reagan, my
who's
man.
Slippin' Reagan Goodman.
So
He's a very very nice professional psychic.
sure. That's in
He's
air
yeah
quotes
yeah
for
he's
anybody who is not
yeah man yeah
understanding.
he's very very much no dude, he's such a good psychic. I don't know what he's talking about.
He's the
He's a
psychic of the
spiritual
century.
psychic.
That's all I'm gonna
He's
say.
a spirit. Listen, no, he like I said, he's a spiritual psychic. So he doesn't have any psychic powers himself, but he sure can take care of these ghosts. What
Excuse
the
me.
first thing I love this introduction to Reagan so much.
Yeah,
It
it's
shows you how
literally
it gives you
just look. No lie. I wanted to talk about how the animation and the style of the episode
yeah
really kind of gets me into like a really old grainy anime style.
yeah
Um, that's what one thing I actually liked about the animation. It's not like over the top,
hmm
it's not super budgeted,
yeah
it's just there. It's proud of itself and it just makes a
uh
statement by itself.
and
And I really like it. And as you were going into talking about Reagan, I really liked in this anime. I don't know if you paid much of attention to it, but they do
yeah
the eye through the hair
yeah yeah
animation,
they
or not
do
animation but art, and that's one thing I
yeah
just love to see in both manga and anime is
hmm
just the eye
yeah
poking through the hair, like unrealistic looking but looks kind of neat. um but
hmm
anyway, go ahead and talk about our boy
but
Reagan.
our boy Reagan here, there's a lady coming to him for help. There's been a ghost haunting her building. And man, our man Reagan just has no chill when it comes to roasting his clients'
He really doesn't. He
appearances.
just literally insulted her
He's
face.
because I'm gonna be honest, she's not a very pretty lady. And that's the thing I like about one's character designs is you'll get your normal characters and you'll get like the horrific monsters that are just like people.
Yeah,
Like some
it's
people just look like these horrible monstrosities.
it's really bad.
And actually, that's kind of actually in that regard, that kind of reminds me of how some JoJo characters are designed. Because some of them are like your cool badass looking designs, and other ones are just these weird fucking monsters. Um, but yeah, one thing I do like about the animation here, though, is this anime, unlike One Punch Man, more closer emulates the art style that One actually has as like a manga artist.
Yeah,
Because
it's
you've probably seen some of his you've already seen of some of his art, and there's even like manga panels in the opening song towards the end.
and literally, if you
And
just you take Mob and you shave his hair off, you got Saitama.
yeah,
Like
well, maybe that's just that's also just sort of like the basic face like that his
because
characters
it
has. It's
seems like
like the
everybody
Saitama
has
face.
just about the same face. Like Reagan has
Yeah.
the same face as
hmm
Mob.
hmm
Ritsu doesn't really have. He has a very unique
No,
face.
they don't. They don't. But a lot of like your sort of more major characters have similar looking like face templates.
Right.
But Reagan, he's like, maybe if we take care of this ghost, maybe I could fix your fix your face.
So they start
um,
heading towards the building,
so this building.
and they find the butt chin goblin.
Yeah, man. He's like, oh, I feel a strong presence. It's the fucking butt chin goblin. And dude, I don't know what it is about one having characters that have fucking cleft chins that look like asses.
Oh my
Because there's also a
god, dude.
character in One Punch Man like that,
I don't know what it is
where it's
about
a
a butt
kid.
chin that makes me laugh
Yeah.
so hard. I love
Uh-huh.
it. It looks so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's so many butt chins in this.
I think in One
Yeah,
Punch
the
Man, the
first kid.
lobster guy had a butt
Yeah,
chin,
no,
or
the kid that Saitama saves
oh,
had
that's
a butt
right.
chin.
And it was a very
He saves him from
profound
the
butt
yeah.
chin.
Yeah, actually, I don't know which. Yeah, that's oh great, but yeah, no. basically he's like, oh man, it's the butt chin goblin. It's like, dude, that's just a guy with a fucking weird chin. Um, he even go when they get to the building, he's like, oh, I feel the presence. It's in this building, and it's the wrong fucking building.
It really is.
And
He's
he
like,
it's at this point the people who hired him are like, I don't know about this. Like this guy seems like he might be kind of shady. Um, and at this point, it's pretty much just basically like confirming, yeah, this he's kind of a con man.
yeah,
um,
he's literally just a fluke
uh,
who
mm-hmm,
is just really good. It's like
mm-hmm. And
you
so
take a very basic character and you put all of your skill points into charisma,
yeah, dude.
and that's
Mm-hmm.
Reagan.
Yeah, and then I like because like at first you get like a very sort of not so great impression of Reagan, but later on in the series you get like a much bigger appreciation for him. But so anyways, they're in the building. Apparently the ghost here saw a cockroach and was scared so much their head hit the ceiling and died.
Really.
Yeah. That's
And
what I love is like a lot of these ghosts in these early episodes have really stupid deaths. And
and,
the ghost just shows up and he's just like, yo, sup? What's up, man?
and the
And then,
ghost is just like, who is this fool, man? Like,
yeah, man.
who is
Dude,
this
I'm gonna
person?
fucking kill you. I'm gonna kill you by putting your head to the fucking ceiling. And so Reagan, you know, he gets ready for his ultimate and one of his special signature moves, the salt
The
splash.
salt splash, one of Reagan's special moves.
One, because he has many. He's a
Excuse
man
me.
of many talents.
For anybody who's wondering, I'm dealing with a sinus infection currently, so I'm gonna be kind of slightly coughing, but not a lot,
Yeah,
hopefully.
yeah.
But let's keep the
Hopefully,
ball
Discord
rolling.
will be a homie.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
But
So
in
and
here comes the
it,
main character though.
yeah. Well, see, first the salt splash fails
It
because it's fucking table salt. It's not even purified.
really is.
And so Reagan, and this is probably my favorite part as well, is that Reagan, this is probably the most patient fucking ghost. Reagan calls up our main guy,
My
Mob,
boy Mob.
and so they're probably sitting there for like probably 5, 10 minutes just waiting on him to show.
There's no telling
They,
how
they,
far away Mob was from where they were.
he was
uh,
probably walking home from school, and depending where it is, it could have been a long ass distance.
it probably was. That ghost
Um,
was just chilling, dude.
yeah,
But in walks in
yeah,
Mob, and immediately the ghost could tell the difference. But at first, he tries to smack talk him. He's just like, "What is this little kid gonna do?" But then
yeah.
my boy Mob had to, show him up a little bit. Oh my goodness,
He
man.
had to give it to him.
And at this point, I want to talk about how the aura looks on the psychics. Man,
Yeah.
it's so similar to Nin from Hunter x Hunter
Hmm.
that it's really crazy. Like it's the
Yeah.
only other difference between their aura and Hunter x Hunter's aura is that this one is like a rainbow, like kaleidoscope effect to it.
It's like I notice a lot of the characters have different aura effects, but mobs in particular
Exactly.
is a mobs aura in particular is a kaleidoscope aura,
Yeah, and it
and it
looks
looks so
so
fucking
freaking
sick.
cool. And it kind of makes you think, and you could say I'm overthinking or whatever, but I think it's a cool little theory. But like if you really think about it, in a kaleidoscope you have a ton of different reflections bouncing off each other that gives you the effect
Yeah,
of the kaleidoscope. Maybe that's a true definition for its power, that it's so
maybe.
multiplied that it's just mirroring itself constantly, creating a ever looping buildup of power.
Yeah,
But
you might.
it's just a fan theory, a
Yeah,
game
well,
theory.
that's a good idea, and knowing one and how he tends to do his writing and whatnot, I wouldn't be surprised.
And that if
Um,
even if that wasn't the case,
mhm.
it still looks
It's
cool.
still a
So
cool ass
it's
effect.
still really
It
fucking
still
cool.
looks cool. Um,
Um
But yeah, Mob just made, but he fucking just melts the spirit.
This
Like
dude
it's
just
just instant.
Kamehameha blasts this motherfucker in the face. It's just he's
Yeah,
gone.
dude,
Like,
just gone, no more.
um,
And then we get the
oh,
opening.
this has got to be my most favorite intro, or not intro, but opening to an anime that I have ever seen. Not only is the
Yeah.
song incredibly good, but the anime
hmm
opening matches the energy 100%.
Oh, dude,
Get
it's
what I
it's
did
got a
there? Get what I
full.
did there?
Yeah, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. But a lot of fucking thought went into this opening.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because
It's
it's like it's got so much energy and colors, and the way it's like designed is filled with a bunch of fucking seemingly random objects and images
mm-hmm.
that as you watch the series, they start to make more sense, and
Yeah.
you start to sort of piece together what's going on in the opening.
Yeah. And
But it's
I
even to the point where they
really
started. Oh, sorry, you continue.
sorry, I was like I really like the idea of, the song counting up to 100 and the
Yes.
intro actually being 100 seconds long. Like,
That's what I was gonna say.
uh,
Is that the thought put into this is that it's 100 seconds long. The first opening, at least the opening for this season, is counting up to 100.
which is insane.
Um, the lyrics themselves are all about Mob as a character. Like I took the effort to listen to look at the translated lyrics,
Uh huh.
and like all that, it's all there to make just a really really fucking banger of an opening. And also I think I've told you this already, but they actually made their own musical group for the Mob Psycho openings. It's called
Did
Mob
they?
Choir.
Are you
Yes.
serious?
Yes, so like it's like a group,
This is
it's like a
why
group
you're the elder weeb. Like,
yeah.
I would have
But yeah,
never
but
figured
it's like
that
a
out.
group of it's a group of musicians there together. I don't know if it's a group of musicians that have made anime openings in the past, but the group is called Mob Choir.
Man,
hmm And yeah, and they kept up the 100-second gimmick even up into the recently released third season opening,
that's
which is
super
out
cool.
already.
Oh, it's
Uh,
out. The third
but
season's out.
yeah, not the third season, but the opening for it's out.
Oh, damn. I thought you were talking about the third
Yeah,
season. I got excited.
no, not just the opening animation.
I can't wait
But
to get through the second season though.
dude, it's gonna be great. But anyways, the fucking we sung the phrases of the opening. It's got a certified fucking thumbs up for me.
Oh,
It's an
100.
opening I think about every now and then.
I'm gonna keep making the
But
joke.
anyways, we cut to like, we get introduced more to Mob.
Yeah,
Um,
Mob
he's Reagan's
is
student. You can take this if you want.
yeah, like Mob, he's a very, nonchalant kind of guy. And what Bob said was about to say, he is Reagan's student,
hmm
but Reagan's only using him for his abilities. And he's
Yeah.
actually training Mob on how to use his abilities, which
Yes.
with Mom having the complex that he does,
hmm
which Mob's complex is that he has no absolute control over his powers
Yeah.
because he holds
Well,
all of his emotions in that have to deal
yeah.
with his powers. So
Oh no,
like,
is what it is he doesn't want to is that he has some form of control of his powers, but he's afraid of losing control of those powers, so he bottles up his emotions
just that's what I'm trying to say.
and keeps them
You
held. Yeah,
just
yeah,
explained it
yeah.
a little
But
better
yeah,
than I
I'm
did.
sorry.
Um,
But yeah, no, I
but
just wanted to make sure it's like clear.
Yeah, but Mob, he is not
But
good
yeah,
at anything. Not school, not
no,
exercising, nothing. The only
yeah,
thing that
no, he
Mob
is.
has actually going for him is that he has insane amounts of power and that his brother is the bomb.com. Uh
Yeah, his brother, ironically, is like a lot more popular than he
well,
is.
that's because he's the
Yeah, he
legit
is.
opposite of Mob.
Yeah, he's the opposite of Mob. He's got because like Mob's got like he's got the powers and everything, but he doesn't have like he doesn't really know how to like socialize with people, or he's not really, like I said, he's not really good at school or sports or
Yeah.
anything else that
He,
would like get him into more social circles.
Yeah, it's Mob just can't join in on society, and it's because of
hmm
himself.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
that's
given,
one thing I fucking
but
love about this
honestly,
series.
the first episode is just, just
It's just
a big open section about Mob and who he is,
about
how he
Mob
is.
and yeah.
Um, but we actually get introduced to a really, really awesome definition of what Mob can actually fucking do. Definition
Mhm.
probably isn't the best word, but example of what Mob can do. By introducing us to this next scene in the tunnel at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Is there
So
anything that you wanted to
Mob.
mention that was before this, Bob Stowe, before we start moving on?
Nice. Other than the fact that it shows that he does have a crush on a girl, which is that's not important at the moment.
Yeah,
That's basically what my notes have lead up to the tunnel. So yeah.
yeah. But the basically what it is that Mob follows his his master, which is Reagan, to the a tunnel that is legitimate or not legitimately, but supposedly haunted. And Mob is standing outside of the tunnel and he's just fucking with Reagan, I think, at this point. He's just
Yeah.
like, "Do you feel that?" He's like, "They must just be too weak for me to feel."
Yeah.
Reagan is the fucking class act of faking it. And it's so
Yeah. No.
goddamn cool,
Well,
man.
no, Mob just legitimately believes in whatever Reagan says. Like he looks up to Reagan to a very very high regard. Um, but I'm trying to think. I like the one bit when Reagan starts walking in, but then immediately runs out because Mob isn't following.
Yeah, he like goes into the darkness. Mob just stays outside, and then
Yeah,
he like all of a sudden you just hear Reagan's footsteps getting closer to Mob. Like, why didn't you come with me? It's just like
it's like
I,
well, I thought you'd take care of it.
I thought you were just powerful enough to take care of it of yourself. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
But I don't know
Hmm.
what the fuck this is about. There was one thing I wanted to mention that I put in my notes, and it's uh, Reagan has Saitama on his flip phone.
Yeah.
That was before the
There
tunnel
was.
scene, but like he flipped his phone
Mhm.
up like on the train or something, or the bus on the way over, and you
Yeah.
could see
Well, I think he was
Saitama on
using
his
his
flip
phone.
phone.
I think he was using his phone light in the tunnel.
I think that's exactly what it
I
was.
think that's what it was.
Um, but Mob's feeling all of the source of like different um spirits and all that going on in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Reagan obviously has no idea, so Reagan goes head first into danger.
Hmm.
um but I have this really crazy note. I don't even know what it's about. I said the biker king curses Donkey Kong for eternity.
Oh, it's because the biker ghost they run into, his cause of death was he slipped on a banana peel,
That's what it was. I
and
put
that
Donkey
killed him.
Kong.
That killed him and his gang. And our man, listen, with Mario Kart, bikes are cool and all, but man, you should have went with the cart,
He
bro. I'm just
literally
saying,
did. Him and his
you
biker
should have,
gang went in and he literally slipped on a fucking banana peel and
and
died.
it killed his entire. It's just it killed his entire crew.
But at the same time, this man also has a fucking booby chin.
Yeah, man.
What's up with all these crazy ass characters having butt chins,
Uh,
dude?
I like how the ghosts in the two ghosts in this episode have the little burial hats on,
Oh yeah, it's that I like
the
that
little
too.
Japanese burial
Uh
hats.
huh.
Yeah.
But essentially, the truth comes out about the biker gang once Mob has to go a little bit crazy on him. He scares the truth out of the biker gang, literally telling them that they're just the protectors of the
The
really 100-year-old
the
old
big boss.
spirit that's chilling further
Yeah.
down into the tunnel. And
Hmm.
Mob, don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's like, oh, yo, just hold my beer. I got this.
Mob just kept walking. The biker guy's just like, "What are you going to do? You just gonna kill him? You're crazy." And he's telling he's telling Reagan, or the spirit's telling Reagan, like, you're just gonna let this kid kill himself, and
Hmm.
and he just lets Mob walk into it, but
Hmm.
Mob's making the spirit angry, but Mob also takes him on an acid trip he will most definitely
Yeah, dude.
forget.
One thing I like the design for the spirit. It's like colored all this like it's like this big, massive blob of like goop and shit, and it's
Yeah,
got like
it looks
teeth.
like that ghost from Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Um,
I could see,
what
I
was
could see
his
that.
name?
Was it Slimer?
Maybe the green ghost from
That's Slimer.
Ghostbusters. Uh,
That's Slimer.
but just this crazy ass animation going on, man. It's
Yeah,
insanely
and it's
good.
like fucking. I like how like it's like dripping as well, and it looks really really cool.
Yeah, but that's basically it of the first episode. The first episode ends with
Yeah,
Mob just kicking the fuck out of this 100-year-old spirit, and the biker gang being
yeah,
able to be free again and live
dude,
their life
I
as
love the
spirits.
image of the biker gang being free.
I loved that
It's
too. It was super awesome.
it's really good.
And they
But
moved
yeah,
on to the
they
other
end.
side.
Yeah, but they end their day by getting ramen.
Yeah, which is super cool.
Hmm. So
But that moves us into
we
episode
open.
2.
Yeah, so Mob
And
starting his day,
and my
and
man
we get a
has the
little.
nut demon on him.
Yeah, dude. Well, actually, there's one thing I want to say. There's like a lot of B-roll before we got to Reagan's office. There's one shot in particular I noticed I really like. That is, there's a shot of Misato, you know, the girl with the camera, and it has this really nice lighting on it
Trying to
in
figure out
the
that
beginning
part.
of the episode. It's like it's at the very beginning before the stuff with Reagan. But I just remember seeing like the way the lighting was. It looked really really nice.
I don't remember that, but I'm
Oh yeah,
glad you put it in your notes.
I wanted to ask, did you? I wanted to ask, do you have a background image?
Yeah, I got a background image.
Okay, cool, cool. I just want to make sure,
Oh
because
yeah.
we didn't discuss that. But anyways, you know, Reagan's at it again, and this poor guy, he's got a horrible, you know, curse affliction.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of fucking. He's been to too many porn sites, man, and his
He's
shoulders
got
are
the
stiff.
he just has the nut demon, man.
The nut demon, and I forgot what they refer to the curse in the dub, but in the sub they refer to it as the one click curse.
One click curse.
Yeah, the one click curse.
But my
Hmm.
boy
But
Reagan has the answer to his solution, my man. So basically, Reagan just gives this man the best expert massage that he has ever had in his entire
yeah,
life.
he gives him the fucking 100 hit combo.
Get it? 100?
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't what I was going for, but yeah,
We're gonna
that was
make
actually
tons of
unintentional.
jokes
But yeah,
about this. It's gonna be great. Uh,
yeah. Um.
but anyway, the dude gets a crazy ass massage, pays for his shit, and moves on about his day. And
Hmm. There's one note I did put here, and that is Reagan is as excellent of a masseuse as he is a con artist.
he he literally, I
Actually,
want a massage from Reagan. Like,
yeah, dude. Well, actually, I wanted to say this. Like Reagan's like a con artist, but technically he doesn't scam any of the people who come to him.
that's
Like
very
they come
true.
back, they come out of it satisfied. Like with the massages, like he says he's exercising a demon, but he's actually legitimately helping his clients.
That's exactly what it is.
Um,
He's not
and
necessarily scamming them. He is
yeah,
masquerading their
yeah,
problems.
it's he's using deception,
Yes.
but he's not just taking their money and then kicking them out the door. They're actually receiving a service.
Exactly. He's not like, "Oh, just give it
Hmm.
a few days, it'll go away." No, he's just like,
Yeah, no,
let's make this worth your
man,
while, my bud. Let's
this man goes all out.
And that's one thing I love about Reagan. He goes above and beyond on everything that he
Hmm.
does, even though he
I
fucking
think
fakes the whole thing.
I saw I saw it on a comment when I was gathering clips for our little opening intro,
Um,
but someone mentioned that Reagan is like the weakest character in the series, but he has like the strongest moral code.
it's I would say yeah, he does have a very strong
Yeah,
moral code.
like he has
He's
a very
also got a
strong
very
code of
strong.
ethics.
He has a very strong will and a very strong
Yes,
sense of not justice. Um, dang,
self, sense of self,
sense
maybe.
of
Like, because like he's like super
courage,
fucking
courage,
confident
sense
and
of
courage. He's
courage.
very courageous.
Oh my gosh, this man literally looks at danger and says, "Do it, mob."
Uh, yeah. So,
um,
Reagan's got his fucking massage. Mob act, he refers to it as massage, and Reagan's kind of like, dude, don't fucking call it a massage. You call that shit an exorcism, boy.
hell yeah, my dude. But
Um,
was it at
but
this point that Reagan made food for Mob, or was it the backstory of
I'm
Mob coming
trying
to
to,
Reagan?
I'm trying to think. I think that there's a scene I think where he's eating the octopus ball, and it's like too hot.
Yeah, and he drops it,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. And
Mob
he
has to
drops it, and
flex his
And Mob
skills a
picks it
little
up.
bit.
Yeah, and he
Mob
picks
has
it
to
up. He
flex
not
his
only
skills.
picks it up, but he cools it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
super
no, that's
cool.
what it is. Because like this is the scene like I was going to talk about, where there's this nice scene where you start getting a little bit of what sort of the core theme is for like Mob's character arc throughout the series, and that is
Mm-hmm.
Mob starts to wonder if there are other things he should be doing other than working after school.
Right. He thinks that in this episode, basically what it is Mob trying to find sense of himself,
Yeah,
and what things that he's good at and things that he wants to
yeah,
do
and
instead of nothing all the time. And we get
yeah,
introduced to the telepathy club. Uh,
yeah. Who just lost a member, and they're
to
one member too short to
and
actually
let's talk
be
about
considered.
how the telepathy club should definitely just try to get that student council member as part of their fucking club, because that man has
Man.
telepathy if nobody else does. Like, this
Uh-huh.
man shows up 5 minutes after after they lose a member and says, "Oh, you guys don't have enough members. Looks like we're gonna have to move on your group to another people who are willing." Uh,
Yeah, man.
and
Um, maybe he's got like he has he's like maybe all student council members are like fucking superhuman and have like they just sense a disturbance in the force. It's like, oh, that club has one less member than the required amount. I
I
must
think
go
I
investigate.
think it's mostly on the fact of that
Yeah,
they do absolutely nothing other than sit
yeah,
around and eat and talk and
yeah.
do
Well,
dumb
it's just
stuff.
like the callback to Jujutsu Kaisen. It's just like the club at the beginning of the first episode of
Well, no,
Jujutsu
even in but in
Kaisen,
Jujutsu
where it's
Kaisen,
like
they
you're
actually do stuff.
yeah
It's not them just sitting around.
yeah.
They actually
Well,
like
it's
take part in what they're talking. The occult club
yeah.
is what they were.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, no, well, either way, they're doing when it's doing in terms of school clubs when it's you're doing stuff. It specifically has to be like a extracurricular activity of some sort, like a legitimate
Well, yeah,
activity.
but
Otherwise, they
Jujutsu
see it
Kaisen,
as
they were actually
wasteful.
doing things like,
Yeah,
for instance, trying to get that piece of cursed energy that started the whole thing. But
yeah,
uh, let
but
let's
what
just
I'm saying is that the school wouldn't see that as legitimate. Is what I'm
yeah.
saying. But yeah. But anyways, yeah, the club, the telepathy club basically just do nothing, just sit down, play video games, eat chips, and whatnot. And then our the president Tomei is she's on a mission.
Yeah.
She's gonna find she's gonna find that member that's required. She's gonna find him and go, yo, join our club. You won't regret it. I try to
So
remember what shot there is, but I remember there's a cool manga panel shot somewhere in this scene or somewhere after it.
it was the scene where they're trying to get um
Yeah,
like they're going around the school trying to get everybody, and it's a manga panel
yeah,
of them asking a
hmm
bunch of people. Because I wrote that
oh yeah,
down. I wrote that down in my notes.
yeah. And everyone's like, "Oh man, I got fucking like work," or I was, "Oh man, no, I got a boyfriend." You got some. They tried chatting up some of the Beckys. The
Uh-huh.
Beckys didn't want none. None of those students want none. But hey, one of them realizes, hey, there's like one guy in our class who's like actually a fucking psychic. He's like, let me go get him real quick, and they come back with Mob.
No, that's not what happened. After they asked
Yeah.
a bunch of people,
Hmm.
it was a shot of them giving up hope. And
Oh
then
yeah, and
their
then
other members just like, hey, I found a guy. He doesn't have
yeah,
any other clubs that he's joined after school.
yeah,
He does literally
that's what it
nothing,
was.
and he got it wrong because he has a job. And
Hmm.
but
And
basically
then
they just go senpai mode on Mob.
yeah, you gotta remember that in this school, like everyone looks like they're high schoolers, but it's a middle school.
Not
Yeah,
everybody.
Mob's the school that they're in is a middle school.
No, I know that. I'm talking about not everybody looks like
Yeah,
a high schooler though. Most of them do
yeah, I
look
was
like
just
middle schoolers.
yeah, but yeah, so Mob, he's just not having it. He's like, I mean, I'm not really like since he himself is a psychic, he's like, I'm not really interested in like this club.
Yeah,
Like this
he's like,
isn't
I
anything
don't
like
want
new
to.
to me.
He even calls his master
Yeah,
and says, "Hey, what should I do? They want me to join this club." And he's like, and this
and
is
he's
so
like,
cool about Reagan. Reagan's like,
yeah,
"Do they do anything that benefits you?" Mob's like, "No,
it's
not
like no.
really."
It's like, do
And
you want to join them?
Reagan's like, "Do you want to join them?" He's
He's
like,
like,
"No, not really." Then
no,
ditch them and come to work.
yeah. And then what I like is like he's like, yeah, just fucking bail. Like you don't gotta like wait on them. Like
Exactly.
you're going to be benefiting them at that point. And the fucking Tomei comes in and Reagan just fucking lays down the facts. He fucking puts her in a place immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And
Man, he don't give a
it's so
fuck,
good.
dude.
Uh
Oh my gosh.
he even I think he even says something along the lines of like, no, I think you're just trying to take advantage of him.
Oh my
And
gosh.
um it's just he's straight and to the point, and Tomei is just fucking defeated. But then so one of the members levels with them and tries to compromise, and thankfully they have till the next day to decide. So Mob said, I'll give some thought.
Mm-hmm. So
So
he
now,
walks away from there and he meets up with Reagan and gets pushed a little closer over the edge.
yeah, man,
Reagan makes him dress up like a girl.
yeah, because the school they're going to is an all girl school.
Man.
And I love the image of Reagan who hasn't even shaved his legs. It's just in full drag, and like Mob's like the only one that's like semi convincing
He
because
really
Reagan
is.
didn't go.
This is what's crazy about it. This is what my favorite part
Yeah,
is. They walk up to the gate. They're like, "What do you think you're doing?" And he's like, "I'm just trying to get to
yeah,
class." Reagan's just like,
yeah.
"I'm
But
just
he talks
trying
like
to
a
get to
fucking Valley
class."
girl.
And
No, he's
he
like, so
plays
I'm
the
just trying to get
part.
to class.
He fucking
Like
plays the
he's
part to a T
he
though.
does the Becky voice,
But it and
and
on top of all that, Reagan's fucking thought process, I love it. He literally did this
yeah.
so that he could get Mob in. He knew he wasn't going to
Yeah.
get in the gate.
Well, he was supposed to join him, but his disguise didn't fall through. He's like, "Oh, just fucking go ahead," because thankfully the security thinks Mob is just a student,
But
and
they push
and
Mob
even like
into
don't hang out with weird guys like this, okay?
man.
It's like what
But
they tell him, and it's
basically,
great.
at this point, Mob is just chasing a evil thief booby ghost. Uh,
Yeah.
he's literally just trying
Um.
to get them boulder holders and just sneak peeks
Yeah,
at
dude.
girls in
This is
locker
this
rooms.
this fucking ghost. Like I said, whatever ghost there is, he's kind of he's kind of a chap.
He kind of is.
He's he's using his fucking like ghost powers for I think a lot of fucking people secretly would. Um,
But
so Mob, he goes to the roof and he run and because that's where you're told to meet up with the clients.
yeah.
And it turns out there's a bunch of of delinquent girls, and they're about to fucking lay the smackdown on them.
Oh yeah. And then it's because he apparently misjudged their planning or something there on the roof. And man,
Yeah,
Mob just takes it. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't talk to
Yeah,
women, so
dude.
it's throwing him off. And he finally meets the group that actually called him up there, which is on the upper roof, which makes
Yeah,
no sense to
dude,
me.
man, I gotta say, man, fuck these girls, kind of, because there's a
Fuck
scene
them
where Mob
hoes.
thinks they actually where Mob thinks they're complimenting him, and they immediately go, "We're not complimenting you."
What
And
now?
I'm like, man, there's a scene where Mob thinks they're complimenting him for something, and they say, "Well, no, we're not."
I can't remember what that was though. It was it
I forgot what it was, but it
it
was
was something
something
about
I
his
forgot what it was as
like
well.
his setup or like him dressing up as a girl or something.
I think so, but they immediately put him down, which I'm like, man, fuck you guys, fuck y'all, y'all y'all are a couple Beckys. Um, so we were investigating. There's a fucking shot with a pool, and dude, the pool's got some nice
Oh
ass
yeah, the
water in
pool
it.
the pool has amazing water in it. And that's where you get introduced to
Hmm.
the first time the ghost gets pushed in. And that was the girl points in the direction that the ghost went in, and Mob
Yeah,
catches and traps the spirit inside of the gym. And this is the funniest
yeah.
part because I have the funniest note.
Hmm.
He walks in, the spirit gets mad at him, but in here I have the spirit thought he was playing Pokemon and caught those spiritual hands.
The hell yeah.
Oh,
So we
but
have this is the one spirit name I have written down as he is the scent ghoul, which that makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but
he's called the Scent Ghoul. Are you
the
serious?
scent ghoul. Yes, because his whole thing is he smell like he take the reason why he takes
Oh,
the bras and stuff so he can smell that boob sweat, dude.
oh, that's
Smell
right.
that gets
You
that
know they
scent.
call him what'd you say?
The scent ghoul.
They call him the Scent Ghoul, but he's more or less the Simp Ghoul.
Yeah. Oh, very funny.
Kind of like my boy here, simping all the
But this
time.
ghost is quite pissed.
Yeah, the ghost is
Um.
just like, let's fucking fight. I'll destroy you. And Mob's got to stop him. Like, hold the phone, motherfucker. You don't know. You don't know who
Mhm.
you're playing with, and instantly fucks him up. And the
Yeah.
ghost hits him with them wise words. He said, "You're just like me, just trying to live life to the fullest."
Mhm.
Before you
Um.
die. I thought that was kind of messed up.
That that was kind of messed up, but at the same time, like even though he himself was kind of a fucked up individual,
He had a
he
sense
has
of
a
morality to him.
he has a slight point. If it wasn't for the fact that he of what he kind of was before he died. Um,
Right.
but anyways, the one thing I fucking love. So that's one thing I'll say about a lot of the animation and the more high octane scenes. But I like whenever shit flies off of something or explodes. It's usually in these like nice little like cube, like geometrical cube shapes.
Yeah, it really
You
is
see this when he's
cool.
blowing chunks of when he's blowing chunks of the ghost off, like he's blowing them off in chunks of like cubes,
Yeah, I thought this was really
and it
neat.
looks so
Which, if
sick.
you think about it, it kind of plays off of his aura as well, because his aura
Yeah.
is in chunks of cubes.
Hmm.
I think that was just pretty
Um.
neat too. But
Um. Dude, I fucking speaking of looks, you might have this in the notes. I don't know if you do, but the look of when the spirit is defeated and the look of like the soul has this cool fucking like it has like a watercolor look to it.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And
Yeah,
it's
it really
so
does.
fucking good looking.
It's kind of similar to event that happens in one of the later episodes. Um,
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm talking about without having to say it. I don't want to say it yet,
Hmm.
but if not, we'll get
Yeah.
there. But
We'll get there.
end of the episode comes along, and my boy's just he's like he
Oh.
doesn't really feel like he's living, and he doesn't want
Oh.
those regrets. So
Those
but
ragoos.
ragoos.
But I actually wanted to say there's one thing I liked as well during the Waz's spirit is passing. I don't know if you noticed this, but there's a really cool thing it does where it goes from like the echoey spirit filter voice to his actual voice as like he's dying.
Yeah, because it gives you a visual of what
It's
his
yeah,
older character looked like.
of what his yeah. So like he's like basically like regain as he's like dying from being defeated. He is like regaining his humanity
Right.
and of who he once was,
But
which is really fucking cool. But anyways,
we move on to the end of the episode where Mob has to make his decision on whether he wants to join the club or not. So in
hmm
comes in the student council.
the
And
hmm
he's like, okay, you
with
still don't have nobody. I'm going to move these guys in. Which brings us
yeah
to the Tomo Squad.
the fucking Tomo Squad, the Body Improvement Club,
The Body Improvement Club. And
dude.
essentially, these guys are just a bunch of ripped up bodybuilders.
Yeah,
um,
man. What's the fucking this is like the third series in a row where we have like a group of characters that are drawn way to look way older than they actually are because these are still middle schoolers,
yeah, these are middle schoolers, and this is
but they
crazy
are
looking.
fucking ripped. They have the
Dude.
bodies of God. Like fucking that's what I wonder if that's what fucking Bill Watkins will become when he's a middle schooler and in Spy Family because these guys got some serious Watkins syndrome.
Oh my god. But
You like that?
anyway, Mob comes in, he's like, you know what? I am gonna join the club.
Yeah.
The Body Improvement Club.
And dude, they're like the shot where it's like all the body improvement guys just going, yeah,
You're totally in, my guy. Oh
yo,
my
welcome,
god.
man.
Mom don't give
I
a
love the
shit
body
about
improve.
this other club, man.
I love the fucking Tomo Squad so much because they're so fucking. They're the boys.
They are the
They
boys.
immediately welcome Mob in, and it's great. Oh, I will say this. I like whenever the student councilman vice president is asking him, well, what do you want? And it's got this cool animation of Mob being like overwhelmed by like these thoughts of, well, what do I want? And he's like just thinking and thinking,
Right.
and it's such a cool ass like animation of him being overwhelmed with all these like different thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, it's quite overwhelming for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we've talked
And
about it yet, but when Mob is starting to build up on emotions, we have this really really neat counter. Um,
yeah.
that shows you the percentage that Mob is up to. And at this point, I think he's up to
Mm-hmm.
like 60% or something like that.
About
Um,
yeah, it's building up very very slowly,
and we'll
and like
get
each
we'll get to the 100 in the next episode.
yeah. So
Which is what we're gonna
we
start with. By the way,
so
before we get going any further,
yeah.
um, we gotta speed it up a little bit.
It's
We're at
it's this is nah, nah it's all good. Anyways, we open up with the Body Boys,
hell yeah.
and then they're running they're just doing the jog. They're screaming, they're chanting their chant, fight on. And poor Mob is just fucking just trailing behind them because he's not the most athletic person,
He is not. Poor guy.
and it is killing him.
Oh my gosh. Mob is literally
hmm
dying trying to run.
Okay. So here we have our second example of the Tomo Squad being absolute fucking bros.
Dude, yes.
Because the head of the club is still allowing the paranormal club, the fucking telepathy club, to use their room.
Which is incredible. Because Mob said,
Because
fuck your club, but the
yeah,
Tomo squad
they're
said,
like,
you know what? You can have the room.
it's just you can have the room. Like we just use it for storing our workout equipment. So I mean, like you could just use it.
Oh, really fucking
Um,
awesome guys, man.
hmm
But basically, my
That's
boy
who.
Mob's just trying to get some ass, so he joins. That's why he
Yeah,
joins the
he's
Body
got.
Improvement Club.
hmm He's in love with this girl named Tsubomi because we have this flashback where he's like showing her his different powers, and eventually she becomes bored with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, the way I have it written down is says Bob is focused on bettering his physique and bettering himself in ways that his powers just can't fulfill.
Okay, so
And that's like the core. That's like the core theme of Mob's character arc is he is dead set focused on just trying to better himself as a person
and
and,
essentially
and
it
improve.
his yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, just basically just improve the skills that his psychic powers can't really help him with.
Yeah, cuz honestly at this point he starts getting introduced about things that he can actually do with his powers. Like he can read people's minds. But he
Yeah,
chooses not to, but he gets to thinking about he gets to thinking about being able to read the mind of his little girlfriend. And
yeah,
basically, he gets to thinking about it. Mob just wants to raid this girl's mind, like Mr. Krabs raided that panty drawer. Uh,
yeah, hell yeah,
he's just fucking. He's like, let's do it. But he gets, he's like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't.
yeah,
Um, but he starts walking home from school, and
yeah.
he gets sucked into a scheme of sorts.
Yeah. We got. He gets a nice. There's a nice mass cult member. They're gonna. Hey, are you unhappy? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Well, you know what? Just come with me. I can get you. Our little organization can get you the things you want.
Hell yeah.
And actually, I don't know if you know this. Do you know that the religious laws in Japan are actually quite lax? That's why there's a lot of cults in Japan
Oh, for real? I mean,
because it's
technically,
like
we
it's
can
like
have
you're
cults
it's like
here.
yeah
I mean,
yeah
as
but
long
it's
as
like
they
way
don't.
like they're way more intense in Japan
Like
because
intense in the sense of.
like there's just a lot more of them and they're a lot more extreme. Like here there's like some cults, but we haven't had like a big one like Kevin's Gate or like Jonestown in a hot minute.
That's true.
But
I guess you're
Japan's
right.
got a lot of them. um and there are laws in place to where basically as long as they're saying hey it's a religious organization, then you won't really get much investigation
Yeah,
because you're
but
you're 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 considered a religious organization.
okay.
But anyways, this cult is focused around happiness
Yeah,
and,
and Mob
and
shows up,
smiling.
and as Mob shows up, he starts seeing all of these people in these weird culty hats, which basically just has people smiling on them. Uh,
Yeah.
So at this point, there's initiations going on for all the new members, and my boy Mob he gets a
Mhm.
crowd surf by the culty weirdos up to the
Yeah, man.
front, and we get introduced to the cult leader,
Master Dimple.
Master Dimple, which
Yeah.
this just introduces another main character of the show. And at this
Uh-huh.
point, this is pretty much all of the main characters. You got Mob, you got Reagan, you got Dimple, and then Ritsu. Um,
Yeah.
which Ritsu, we haven't just talked about him a lot, but that's Mob's brother.
Hmm.
But we get introduced to Dimple. Uh, and
Yeah.
basically, Dimple is just trying to get these guys to join his cult. And there's this one old guy who's just like super pessimistic. He's homeless, nothing
Yeah.
left in life to give him. And he's just like, why would I
Hmm.
laugh? Like, why would I even want to smile? And they put this bag
Hmm.
over his head. And then as soon as they
Yeah.
put this magic bag over his head, this magic bag of wind.
This magic. Damn it. Hell yeah.
This magic bag over his head, he starts uncontrollably laughing and smiling.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, I'd say it's almost to the point where, especially later on in this little episode, the faces at some point almost look like they're in pain
oh
from
yeah,
like the
true.
laughing,
Uh,
and especially with like this guy, like later on, like he very much it looks like he's not having a good time.
but
um,
but
but
anyway, salvation starts with suffocation. I say. Uh,
Yeah, man.
as they stuff these bags over their heads.
Hmm.
But Lieutenant Snapshot is not having it. Uh,
Hmm.
which is the
Yeah, yeah,
which is
fucking
the
Misato.
yeah, that's her name. Which she's just basically over the newspaper, the school newspaper, and she's trying to
Yeah.
get a story on the cult themselves. And
Hmm.
essentially, she's just there to rat them out, try to figure out what they're doing. And
Yeah.
Dimple wasn't having it. So they grab her and put the bag over her head. Now she's
Yeah.
laughing too. And Mom's like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, let's do this. I'm ready. I'm ready to just take me with open
Yeah.
arms, make me laugh.
Yeah, man.
But
I actually, I got a fucking, I put a note here. So I put Misato angers Dimple and and he gives her the hypnotism.
but
uh,
unfortunately, Mob got that
man.
Squidward energy. He just ain't having it.
Yeah, man. It's just not affecting him. Like whatever power is behind this mask, he's like, I don't, I'm not laughing. I don't know what's happening here.
Well, Mob goes to leave, and he's just
Yeah.
like, don't you want to laugh? Don't you want to be awesome like the rest of us? And
It's
Mob hit
like,
him with that, don't worry about it.
yeah, actually, what I thought I specifically put this line out because I love it so much. Dimple asks Mob like, "Hey, don't you feel like you might be missing out?" And then Mob just says, "Well, my dad says I'd be missing out if I didn't smoke cigarettes. Should I take his advice?"
Mob's dad got them facts, though.
Yeah, dude. Um, but so with that bird, Dimple's like, "All right, listen. How about this? I'm gonna challenge you to a staring contest, and if you laugh,
It's not really a
you
staring
you gotta."
contest.
No, what it's a Japanese staring contest, which is usually hold like some kind of fluid in your mouth. In this case, it's milk, and
Mm-hmm.
then you make faces at each other to try to make the other person cave.
Right. And my boy
It's a
Mob,
different version.
he likes that milk too much. He got to get that
He
mommy's
fu- he
milk.
he. Dude, he loves that milk. He's got to get his calcium, boy. Build up those bones. Get stronger.
He loves milk. This is why he did
He
not
loves milk.
resist the challenge.
Yeah. I love how the narrator points it out. It's like, yeah, Mom accepted the challenge for the sole fact that he loves milk.
Man. But essentially, he does
Hmm.
all this work and nothing happens. Mob's just like, nah, I just ain't feeling it. You know what?
Yeah,
You lost. I'm leaving. Have a good day.
yeah,
Um, but um, Master Dimple has other plans. He sends his congregation into a full laugh frenzy.
yeah.
And this is where Mob
Oh,
starts to
I
realize. Go ahead.
I said I wanted to say one little note I got for the sharing contest thing. That is, it says Dimple's gonna milk this boy by cheating. Bob, I said it's gonna. Oh, fuck. Dimple's gonna milk this boy by cheating. Bob,
Gotta milk this boy.
you there?
Yeah, can you
He's
hear
gonna
me?
milk this boy.
Gotta milk this boy.
Yeah, I can.
Man.
Yeah, but yeah, they start going fucking all crazy zombie mode,
Oh yeah.
laughing zombie mode on him,
But at this
and then
point,
Bob just
Mob's just super chill. Um,
yeah. He even fucking lifts the fucking. He's able to lift the fucking hypnosis powers that Dimple's got over his congregation.
but
Mm,
anyway, he Master Dimple starts spiraling into a depression. Um,
yeah.
just trying his best to pull Mob into his powers. So,
Hmm.
but then he hits Mob's no go button.
Yeah.
Uh, he said, "Get a clue."
He said, "Get a clue," and Mob
Mob's about to
that
play.
just it got under his fucking skin. He's like, "Oh man, why would you fucking say something like that? That's like you make me sound like I'm fucking stupid or something. I really don't like that phrase."
You trying me? Are you
Bef-
trying me, Mr. Dimple? I will
Before that,
fuck you
I
up.
put before that, I put down that Mob's got that big Ultra Instinct energy.
Dude, I put the same
Yeah,
thing. I said Mob just went into Ultra Instinct.
yeah, because he's got the fucking aura and shit around him, and it just looks like the fucking Ultra Instinct aura. But yeah, so it's just the timer. It's slowly ticking up, slowly getting there. We finally get 100.
Oh yeah, we finally get that 100 counter. But
Hmm.
Mob said, "Fuck around and find the fuck out, my guy." but
Hmm.
Mob is angry, and so now we can get into the explanation of what Mob's powers actually is. Um,
Yeah.
we got his countdown. When Mob hits 100, he loses control of holding his emotions. And whatever
Hmm.
emotion that he is feeling at the time of the end of the countdown is what explodes out of him. So at this point,
Hmm.
Master Dimple brought out rage.
Rage.
So here it comes.
And what I so let's start off. So one thing I love about this power is whatever emotion it is, Mob's demeanor completely changes with that emotion.
Oh yeah, it is
He has
insane.
so like normal Mob, he's very timid, emotionless, doesn't really have much of a range. But whenever rage hits in, he's very angry and more not like
It's not even
seething, like
like
screaming angry,
it's like
but it's like
very
this
calm.
underlying, it's this
Like
calm sense of like anger, and he's like slightly more, I guess you almost say, like confident in the way he
it's
speaks.
the dangerous kind of anger where you're calm about it,
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's calm anger.
so basically it's just like a psychopath of
Yeah,
essentially. But when we say that Mob changes, we really mean it. Not only does his
yeah, and dude,
demeanor change and his voice change, his whole physical appearance
yeah,
changes into this just awesome looking, like, you know what he kind of reminds me of, and I didn't put it in here, but it really
what,
makes me think of it. A normal like kid version of Diablo from My Hero Academia.
yeah,
I might not.
I see. I'm kind of,
Is his name Diablo? I might be saying it wrong.
uh,
Uh, the flame
which
guy,
character?
the blue flame guy,
Oh, Dobby.
Dobby. That's what it is. I was close, but he kind of
Yeah.
reminds me a younger version of Dobby in this scene, without the
Hmm.
stitches and whatever. But like a
Yeah.
normal looking
So yeah, no,
version of Dobby.
I love how flowy his hair is as well, like the
Oh
way the
my
hair is
god.
animated.
He really has this, like, when it comes to the flowing energy of, he's got the anime hair. Uh, he's
Yeah,
he's got the Dragon Ball Z hair at this point, but not like super
yeah.
stacked, but like the flowing
It's
motions that
not
it takes.
it's not static, but it's like flowy. Like you see like different strands of hair like flowing in different directions,
Yeah,
and it's just
but
really fucking cool looking. So, anyways, Mob versus Dimple fucking starts, and
oh
boy,
my gosh, man.
this is the first, like most of the fights at this point have been like one shots and not very, I'd say almost not very impressive.
Right.
But this is where it starts to step it up a little bit.
Man, the fucking this is exactly where I just started catching on.
Hmm.
This fight scene was absolutely incredible. It just, not
Hmm.
even a bunch of stuff happened. Essentially, it was just the spirit, which is Dimple, where
This
you
is
realize
Dimple.
that he's
Yeah.
actually a spirit instead of a psychic. Um,
Yeah.
he is running around trying to beat the shit out of Mob, bumps up into his original form, and
Yeah.
Mob fucks him up. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Literally,
He
he
fucking
moves in to
takes out
hit.
his.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like he fucking takes out his fucking limbs. Uh, Dimple even goes full fucking force,
Yeah.
and it's still just it's not enough to get through Ma.
Yeah. So we're in episode 4 at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
Are we?
No, the three. Just three.
We're still in 3. The end of the episode is the end of the
Yeah.
fight. Oh, but
Yeah.
essentially, Mob just fucking wrecks shit. His whole demeanor
Uh-huh.
changes, and whenever Mob finally releases all that anger, all of that energy out of himself, he turns back into normal and his counter resets. Uh,
Yes.
so it goes from 100 to 0, like that. He just has to
Hmm.
express his feelings at the time. Uh, but at the end of it, Mr. Dimple gets turned into a small fried spirit.
We
Um,
there's a little bit some stuff before that with like
okay, go ahead. See what you gotta say.
we have a nice little moment with Reagan after the whole thing
Right.
where Mob's feeling kind of down. And this is one of the first scenes we get where Reagan's like giving Mob like actual like good like actual good like talk because Mob he basically tells Mob that well you were able to save people though with your powers
I forgot about this scene.
and yeah they're eating some nice Mob Donalds.
That's so funny though, because
Yeah,
I don't know if you realize it or not, but you know the little logo on the McDonald's cups that show
yeah,
Ronald McDonald throwing something into a garbage can and running away from it?
uh-huh.
They replaced that with Saitama.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I thought
That, I
that
think
was
we
so
made a
funny, dude.
we made a note of that. I made a note of that as well because I noticed it. I think I actually pointed that out. I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember who pointed it out, but it
Um,
was funny.
but so yeah, but yeah, no. After that, episode ends with Bob waking up and oh, Dimple is still alive and not dead. He's in a very weak state.
And that immediately bumps Mob up to like 80%.
It's like oh fuck.
I think it
So
was like
yeah,
80% or something like that. It was high.
I'm trying to remember. It was like high. But
Um,
anyway, so we get episode 4.
yeah,
Um,
we
got
get introduced
Black
to a
Vinegar.
gang of thugs.
Yeah,
Just having, the big old, like, behind the school alley brawl out with another school.
yeah.
And,
So in this case, we got Black Vinegar school, Middle School versus Salt Middle Schools, which is Moss Middle School.
yeah. So
Delinquents.
Salt Middle School is actually winning, but
Yep.
then the other school had to call in their trump card, which is my boy
Yeah.
Terry
Yeah.
that
So why do you
boxed
call
over.
him Terry? I don't.
Just
I never
because,
asked you
man,
that.
I don't know what hit my brain, but whenever I don't know if you've seen this like video of this guy in a wheelchair lighting fireworks, and the guy in the
Yeah.
background behind the camera says, "Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry."
Uh,
And it hit my
I did
brain
not.
when I heard Teru, and
Yeah.
I immediately like started calling him Terry.
Yeah.
But that's literally my reasoning. I'm just like,
But
oh,
yeah.
he's Terry
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Terry
So
comes in. My boy
we
Terry
fuck
comes
shit
in,
up.
and literally, you don't get to see anything from the fight except the lead. What do they call him? The Phantom leader,
The shadow
the
leader.
shadow leader of Salt Middle
That's what terror
School.
is. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
the shadow leader of Salt Middle School is in a wall, like
Yeah.
crushed by my boy
Uh-huh.
Terry. Um,
Hmm.
man, he just gets his
Yeah, man.
ass beat, dude.
Yeah.
But we did kind of skip
So
some stuff because that was the beginning of the episode, and
that's
then
speaking of the episode. Now
and
we got
then
Mob. It goes back to Mob
waking up
waking up to Dimple. And
and
Mob fucking as soon as he wakes up, as soon as he sees him, what happens? Fucking Mob gives him the fucking Loki treatment.
dude, I was just about to say that. Beauty God, which is funny because I don't know if you like realize it or meant to put it in there like that,
Yeah.
but like the whole goal of Dimple is to be a god,
Yeah,
and he
he wants
got
to ascend to
shit
godhood.
on by Mob, dude.
We have a god. I am a god. Well, we have a mob.
Puny God. Dude, I don't know if you put that together, but that was so funny and lined up. Um, But
Yeah.
that was so funny. Okay.
And
Um.
but no, it's fucking. I love it because like it's just straight out of nowhere. Mob immediately his first reaction is to grab Dimple and start just beating him.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
Um, so Mob's about to fucking go for the kill, but then Dimple with his sly tongue is like, oh no, wait, don't you want to hear about what I aspire to? And that's why he talks about he wants to become a god,
Yeah.
and he's just basically just begging, like he's like, yo, just don't fucking kill me, please.
Just.
I won't do anything again.
But he has other
I might,
plans.
yeah.
He's basically just trying to
Um,
earn his trust so that he can take over his body at some point, which is dumb to think that he
yeah.
can. Um,
hmm
but
But still, I mean, as a man, a spirit can dream.
yeah, but this is where we start getting more into Ritsu's side, um, which is really cool because Ritsu gets introduced as more of a actual character at this point. Um, and basically he starts talking to Mob and walking to school with Mob and starting to get more of his backstory on how Ritsu is complete opposite of Mob and is good at
hmm
everything, but doesn't want what he has just so he could be what his brother is, which is a psychic. Um,
hmm
he's got all of these really cool skills that Mob wants from Ritsu, and Ritsu wants what Mob has. It's a really cool dynamic thing that they have between each other. Um,
Yes.
it's just super weird that each brother is jealous of the other one, and
hmm That's something I like as well, and I think it comes in later in one of the later episodes. But yeah, no, Mob as Ritsu is envious of what Mob has, and Mob
uh,
is also envious of what Ritsu has. Ritsu's envy is a lot more intense than Mob's, but they still are slightly jealous of what the other has.
mm-hmm.
Um, but we Mob we come back to fucking the Office with Mob and Reagan and Dimple basically immediately knows yeah, no, Reagan's kind of bullshit. Man, fucking not Reagan can't even see him. he absolutely gives no fucking shits.
Yeah, he really doesn't give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
um,
hmm
but essentially, you just get these really cool scenes of Mob walking around with Dimple.
Yeah.
The dynamic finally hits with Ritsu. But we start getting into um, what was the next part with the Tomo squad? They oh the gang wanted to recruit the Body Improvement Club to
Oh
their
yeah.
gang. That's what it was.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Good old Tanga Onigawara, the leader of the delinquent squad.
Yeah, and
Um,
Tenga, my boy,
he
he
is like,
don't.
yo, we could use you guys, and fucking
Yeah.
fuck, our boy Goto Musashi, the Chad himself, is like,
Mm-hmm.
nah,
We don't
we're
fight.
not interested.
We
And it's
only
like, why
work
not? It's
out
like, well,
to
we fight,
better ourselves.
we work out to better ourselves. We don't use it to fight unless like it's in like self defense situations.
Exactly.
hmm
But after this, I think it's just a whole bunch of he ends up like trying to trick the squad to come up and fight the gang at the school.
Yes.
And basically, they do it in a sense of putting a love letter in Mob's locker, stating that, "Hey,
hmm
I'm a girl. Meet me at this point." And he also gives the other school a letter that says, "Hey, meet me at this point so we can settle this." And on top of the same thing,
Yeah.
they send another letter over to the Toa squad talking about how the middle school has a mob, and it's like a
Uh huh.
trio of like, oh shit, which in
hmm
gist of it
Well,
is kind of
actually,
smart
I
of
think what
Tinga.
actually though, yeah, but actually what it is with the thing is I believe that the other letter saying that they have mob is from the black vinegar delinquents. They were trying to get to, I think it was trying to get sent to Tenga squad, but it ended up getting intercepted by the Tomo squad.
Exactly. That's what I'm
And
talking
so
about.
yeah.
But
But
essentially,
yeah,
the Tenga squad was just
the t-
trying to lure them in to help them fight the the other squad,
the the other
the other
squad, yeah.
school.
Um,
Um, but so they end up trying to take. They end up taking Mob and holding him hostage. And being the absolute Chad that Mob is, he's just letting them do
yeah.
it.
He just
he,
doesn't do it. You see later on in the episode, he just undoes his fucking ropes.
yeah,
He can
dude.
undo it at any point, but
He he
he's just
he
chilling.
he's just chillaxing in this chair, completely
It's
tied
like,
up,
hey
and
guys, yeah, they kidnapped me.
The Tomo squad shows up, man, and man, oh, basically the Tomo squad shows up and they're about to be like, they're just like, hey, where is my boy
Yeah,
Mob? And Mob, as everybody's out in front of the school, Mob literally just walks up with the chair still attached to him.
yeah, dude. I did want to mention fucking Tanga wants to fucking take out Terror so bad, take out Terror so bad that he
Terry.
unleashes a fucking 100 hit combo.
You mean Terry?
No, I'm not gonna
Yes,
fucking say
you're
Terry.
gonna
You
say
can say
Terry.
Terry.
You're gonna say Terry.
No,
I'll murder you.
but he gives him the fucking 100 hit combo.
He gives him the fucking JoJo punches, man.
Yeah, dude.
Gives him
Yeah,
the
this is what he does. That's what he do.
but
He does what. But
essentially
anyways,
once the Tomo squad has what they want, which is Mob just undoes his ropes. Is like, hey, let's go.
mhm.
I'm tired of doing this anyway. I got things to do. And
Yeah. Oh, I got one fucking. So here's this: common thugs are no match for the Tomo squad.
oh, so you called them the Tomo Squad early on, which I like. But in my
Yeah,
notes, I put them down as the One Punch Squad.
one punch squad.
Oh, which essentially is has the same feeling to it.
Yeah.
Um, but as they're leaving the gang's like getting rowdy. They're just like, "Hey, fight us. We're right here. Don't you dare look down on us." And they're just like,
Uh huh.
nah, I don't feel like it. I'm not here to fight. We got Mob. We're leaving. And then my boy Terry shows up. My boy Terry.
Yeah.
He shows up and he's just like, nah, we're settling this shit right here, right now. And
And dude, the shot with his fucking aura is like a
oh my
black background with his fucking
god,
aura around him. It's fucking great.
it's crazy, dude. It looks so good.
Uh huh.
But
And there's even better right after that of him standing in front of the Tobo squad.
man, but Tomo Squad is walking around surrounding him, but my boys are underestimating Terry.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry just legit fucks them up. I mean, just
Mm-hmm.
fucks them up. And almost like one fucking move. Because Terry has this
Yeah.
really cool like motions about him that makes it look like he's glitching. But essentially all he's doing is
Yeah.
using his psychic abilities to boost his trajectory in a different direction and causing an
Mm-hmm.
after image or something like that. And
Yeah. He's basically using it to move super fast.
exactly. And but Mob obviously just don't give a fuck. And
Yeah.
he just takes Terry's punch like it's absolutely nothing. Like,
Yeah, dude.
um
There's one
but
thing I do fucking like. The fucking even though the Tobo squad gets fucking bodied, they fucking rise up again, only to get fucked up again.
yeah, they get fucked up twice, man. But
They get fucked
that's
up
just
twice.
the
That's how much of a chance they are.
yeah, they just love it, man. I well not love it. They don't
Yeah,
love it.
man.
I love it. They're so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
essentially that the episode ends with Mob and Terry finna have an epic showdown.
Yeah.
And
And Mob's like, yo, it's like, yo, you shouldn't use your powers against other people. Like they can't
essentially.
fight back.
And it just moves into
Um,
episode 5 within this fight. And like Bobsto was saying, he's just like, you shouldn't use your powers for evil. You should use them for
yeah,
good. And it just shook my boy Terry. He's just like,
yeah.
what are you, a fucking nerd? Like, what? It's,
What else would you use your powers for, huh?
yeah, why? Like, you got to use your
Yeah,
powers to be the best that ever was and ever will be, you
yeah.
bitch.
But yeah, so that's the end of episode 4. Episode 5 opens up with Teru kind of shitting himself because he's like, "Oh shit, like
Well,
I'm
it's not
not
really
doing much
essentially
against him."
him shitting himself. I think it's more or less him realizing that he's gonna have to do a whole lot more towards
Yeah,
Mob, and he does.
um,
And he just ain't about to give up his spot to Mob.
yeah.
It's,
Actually, there's one neat thing I've noticed. I don't know if it's intentional. I might be remembering wrong. So in One Punch Man, do you remember the Ninja Speedo sound Sonic?
I remember the
Is
ninja that got
his name is
punched in the
Sonic?
nuts.
He's nuts. Yeah, yeah, that guy. I noticed Teru crosses his legs a lot when powering up or about to fight.
Yeah, he
And I
looks like he's
think
about to do
that
the
guy
pee pee
also,
dance.
yeah, I think that guy also crosses his legs, but I can't
It's
remember.
very, he does. He most definitely does.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, that's just kind of neat how those two styles kind of mash
yeah,
together. Which it's not two
and
different
and
styles; it's the same style of
yeah,
writing and
but it's like a similar character to similar ability, and
exactly.
he's doing the same little pose. Um,
Essentially, like at the
yeah,
beginning of this episode, Terry is just fucking up Mob, and it's because, and
hmm
I say fucking up Mob, but Mob really ain't getting fucked up.
he's
Mob's
not.
just
He's just
chilling.
doing nothing against them.
He's just
He's just
like
surviving.
but Terry is trying so hard to get him to fight back, but Mob just he's not. He just wants to be friends with him. He wants to be normal. Um,
Yeah,
but he's literally just fucking up Mob to push over his ideals, and it's
yeah.
just not working. Um,
hmm Uh,
in
One thing I like is
the
that
go
Mob
ahead.
mentions he doesn't like doing all the flashy moves because he gets sick.
Yeah,
Because
he gets sick, and then on top of
because
that, go ahead. Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off.
oh no, I was just saying because like with how you fucking how he's moving and shit, like yeah, no, that'd probably make most people fucking sick.
Exactly. Like just him moving around like that is unnecessary.
Yeah,
But he's punching Mob so hard that he's doing fucking triple backflips and shit.
yeah,
And um Dimple steps up. And Dimple steps up to a point to where he's just like, I ain't gonna let this slide. It's time.
hmm
But Mob just ain't fighting back. But Dimple steps up and says, "It's time. You need to stop. I'm gonna show you
yeah,
what I could do." And Terry just blows his ass to pieces, bro. He just
uh-huh,
blows his ass across fucking Kingdom Come. He's gone.
yeah,
Um.
dude, he's fucking sending him all over the place.
So Mob loses his friend, and that pushes
Oh,
Mob
dude,
just a
fucking
little bit closer. And as the episode's moving through, the time or his percentage is rising up, which is really cool. But he's really pushing Mob's buttons.
hmm
He's talking about his friend being dead and all this other shit, and
hmm
I don't know what this was about, but I put in here. I said it looks like Mob looks like he's about to drop the sickest rap single of his life.
yeah,
he just
hmm
he just keeps pushing Mob over and over and over.
yeah.
Um,
And
and
he's
then
like, you shouldn't like as Tara's like talking all this stuff. Mob's just like, well, you shouldn't belittle people. Like that kind of doesn't make me feel good.
yeah, man, that's how cool
Yeah.
Mob is as a person,
Uh
though.
huh.
That's why I really
And
like Mob's
then
development of a character.
uh huh.
But go
And
ahead.
then Terror responds with, "Hey, yo, you ever seen Dragon Ball? I'm gonna take you on some fucking Dragon Ball level shit."
So
Which
essentially,
is
he's just fucking Mob up. He's pushing him through the walls of the
yeah,
school. He's tearing
dude.
his
This
school to pieces. Uh,
Yeah, dude.
Terry gets him into the home ec classroom
Mm-hmm.
and starts using the knives in the classroom, picks them up and throws them at Mom. Mom's like, hey, you shouldn't play with knives. You might have an accident, and accidentally
Yeah,
deflects one of the knives back at
dude.
Terry.
Dude,
And it.
he get he, he fucking gives our man a fucking Ben Franklin, dude.
You did not just say Ben Franklin.
Yeah, dude. He fucking. That's what the fucking haircut is. That dude fucking looks like a dead president. Damn.
Oh my god, you said.
Looks like you put him a fucking $100 bill,
Oh
man.
my gosh, man. But
Oh
after all of
man.
this, Terry is just going on a fucking meltdown after he loses his hair. He turns his
Yeah.
tie into a fucking
This fucking
sword.
sword. And he does a fucking sick ass helm splitter with it.
He does, dude. It's so cool. Um, and Mob is just low key getting inside this man's head. I mean, not even trying to,
Yeah.
getting inside of his head. Um, so Terry is had it. He starts
Yeah.
choking Mob up against the
Mhm.
billboard, and or
I
not
put down.
billboard, but
Oh, I don't know if you noticed this. I put down that he has an almost Azula-esque, like narcissistic outburst.
yeah, yeah, he really does.
Yeah, it's almost like the
Um,
bit when Azula's like defeated and she's fucking spraying out the fucking blue flames and shit,
oh yeah, it,
and she's having that outburst.
yeah,
Because this is the thing with Terror I like is like the reason he's doing all this because he sees his psychic powers as like his form of like validation
he really does.
that and the mob's refusal he takes mob's refusal of um using his powers as like a rejection of his validation,
Exactly.
and that's
Basically,
why he's like
Terry
going
just
so far.
yeah, Terry just wants
Hmm.
to show that he's the best, and by doing that, he
Hmm.
wants Mob to fight him at full power so that he can
Yeah.
validate that he is the best psychic. Oh, but
Hmm.
he's just not having it. But Mob is so dedicated that he's letting this man choke him out. And his
Yeah,
his meter is just slowly building and slowly
dude, it's
building.
synced with the fucking heartbeat,
Oh my god, that's sick. Oh,
and it's so good.
which I kept in the intro, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that.
Hell yeah, I didn't
Um,
notice, but that's good.
um, the heartbeat is synced with the buildup of his meter, and
Yeah,
he chokes him out. He falls to the ground, dead, half dead.
yeah.
But Terry walks away like the fight's over. But
Hmm.
he unleashed something that he himself didn't even fathomably
Yeah.
understand could happen.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
he hits question mark percentage.
Yeah.
Which I
So the
have
question
this.
mark mob
Go ahead.
is very, as I said, it's very interesting. I don't know because this season doesn't explain it. I don't know if the second season explains what exactly the question mark form is,
It's essentially
but it's
just a
just
different form altogether. It's not an emotion
yeah.
at all, and it makes you wonder if
It's
it's.
almost
It makes you wonder if it's
maybe it's
every
like
emotion.
subconscious.
Yeah, maybe it's his
Yeah, it's like
unconscious power. Um,
yeah, like it's like his subconscious is taken over, and it's basically
exactly.
like on autopilot, and like it's almost like a combination of all the emotions at once.
That's what I was just about to say. Like it's a combination
Yeah.
of everything at all. But
Hmm.
Harry really figures out his true place. Um,
Yeah, man.
Mob starts literally levitating the entire school up into the air,
Yeah.
and Terry with it after he bursts his clothes off.
Hmm.
He sends this man flying up into the sky,
Yeah, dude. Dude,
and
it's not just that. This form saps other people's psychic energy because it's draining
yeah,
terror's
yeah,
energy as
it
well.
starts sucking up Teru's energy, and he uses that amplified energy to do what he's doing, and it's really crazy to look at. But at the end of the episode, which this is the end of the episode, Terry figures
Uh,
out what the fuck he just unleashed.
uh-huh.
And it cuts to a scene that I really, really love. His meter
Hmm.
actually hits 100. So it didn't restart after the question mark. It
No,
carried
because he
on from his
hasn't reached
previous.
100. The
Exactly.
question mark thing is an entirely separate thing.
Which is really cool concept. That was
Hmm.
probably one of my favorite concepts. But at the time
Hmm.
that he hit 100%, he was very upset with himself that because he used his powers against another person and he went against his
Hmm.
moral code. And he at the 100 mark he let out sadness. And within
Yeah.
sadness, it repaired everything that they had fucked up in the fight. The whole school was rebuilt.
Yeah.
Terry's brought down to the
Hmm.
earth and
Yeah.
humiliated.
Oh, dude,
Scalped,
the
no
shot, the
clothes.
shot of him above the fucking stratosphere looks so fucking cool.
It really does. Um, but Ritsu, I think, is about the only person that's ever seen Mob's like true like
Powers.
powers.
Yeah.
Because we get that really cool scene after um Mob asks him about that day that he beat up
Hmm.
all them thugs. He's like, "Oh, I just fell and I hit my head
Yeah.
really hard."
Because part of why Mob has his conflict is all stems from a situation where he accidentally hurt Ritsu with his powers.
Exactly.
That's
And
like that's the inciting incident for why Mob is how he is at the moment. Is he doesn't want that to happen again.
exactly. And Mob, that's not Mob, but Ritsu, Mega Chad just tells him, "Hey, it was nothing. You didn't do anything to me. You just beat him up. You beat those guys up for me,
Yeah.
and as you were beating them up, I fell and hit my head, but we got a little snippet of what actually happened. Not the
Hmm.
like whole thing, but
But a
essentially what
little bit.
happened. Um,
Yeah.
and it cuts
And we also
into.
see
Go ahead.
so we also see that Ritsu also like has like really like deep seated resentment for Mob
Oh
because
yeah,
of Mob how Mob has powers.
yeah. It's
When we
not
get into
really
that,
resentment as much as it is jealousy.
it's
Um,
very intense. It's very intense jealousy.
it's super
It's
jealous. Cause he's sitting at his desk,
um,
just trying to get his fucking pencil to levitate.
dude, he's just trying
Um,
to make his levitate. He's trying to bend a spoon.
that's what it is. He's trying to bend a spoon.
Ritsu's because that's what Mob always does at dinner on accident. Is he accidentally bends a spoon.
Right.
Um,
Um, but essentially, it ends the episode with all of that, and it moves into isn't it the part where it starts off where the last episode ended, where they're in the
yeah, yeah. So
schoolyard.
so like no episode 6 opens where 5 leaves off, which is where Reach is going into his room, and that's where he's like trying to like make the spoons bend and whatnot.
That's right. Okay.
Is at the start of episode 6, but he is he Reacher's kind of a dork in this scene. He's like he's just trying so hard to make the spoon bend.
He really is. And I
Um,
love Ritsu to death.
yeah.
But I
Uh,
guess the flashback of the bullies was in episode 6 because that's where
it was
I got it.
it was like it was a little bit in 5, then it's shown fully in 6
Okay, so we we
because
we
it
jump
opens
we
with him
jump
going and
yeah, we jumped the gun.
we're
So
jumping into
we're already into
yeah, so
episode 6.
we're up, yeah.
Okay, sorry, I
So
jumped ahead.
back we're back into Reagan's office now,
Oh yeah.
where he's having a séance.
He
And not only Reagan is a man of many traits. Not only is he a good masseuse, not only does he provide a lot of quality services, but we find out in this episode as well. He has really good English skills
he really does. It's great.
because that's whenever he's doing the séance. Um, the guy mentions how his dad spoke really good English,
He's just like
and so. Mhm. And the acting for Reagan doing the seance is like the dub voice for Reagan, like many people will agree, like is like top tier. Like
It's
this guy goes
really,
above and
really
beyond,
good, man.
and
Um,
actually he almost goes to some certain lengths that like a lot of Japanese actors would go to with their recordings.
it's really good though. I
Um,
mean, it's
because
super
like, he
good.
is like you could tell like he is like not just like doing the voice acting, he is like almost physically performing in the studio with how he
Oh,
does his acting.
yeah. With one of those clips that you sent me whenever Terry was like giving his whole speech and shit.
Yeah.
Um, man, I don't know if you compared the dub to the sub, but it is awesome in the
Hmm.
sub. Much better than
Yeah,
the
dude.
dubbed version.
It's
Um,
dude, like I said, dude, both the sub and dub are really fucking solid.
yeah, dude. They're
You
both
probably
really
you probably
good,
heard some of the yeah.
but the sub was whoa, it was crazy
Hmm.
how like in depth like emotions got. Uh,
Hmm.
but anyway, essentially this episode, essentially is it's about Ritsu. Um,
Yeah.
the whole episode is about Ritsu. Just trying to cope that he wants
Hmm.
psychic powers, and
Yeah.
so a guy confronts Ritsu after school, and
Yeah.
he's just like, "Hey, I heard that you're a really strong uh psychic," and it
Hmm.
delves from like all the information that everybody got from lifting the school that Mob did, and
Yeah, so Mob's like in episode 4 it was shown that what Mob did with Dimple's cult has spread word about him.
yeah.
And now he's even more on the radar because of the school incident.
Exactly. Because the
Um,
reporter from the school is all up in his Kool Aid. Um,
yeah.
and then on top of that, there's somebody else that just gets all up in his business, and he's just trying not to. Or the reporter's trying to talk to his brother about the incident,
Hmm.
and his
Yeah.
brother is just not having it. He's just like, "Fuck off! Like, I don't want to hear your crap. This has
I don't want
nothing.
to hear it.
I'm not gonna tell you about my
Um,
brother. Shut up. Get out of my way." And
mhm.
but he bumps into this guy giving him an offer of bringing out his psychic skills to
Yeah.
essentially work on a project of mastering and harnessing the power of a psychic.
Hmm. Yeah, it's called the Awakening Lab. Basically, it's just
The
for
awakening.
he designed it for young psychics to hone their abilities, basically. And the dude himself isn't a psychic. He just like I just want to help, people reach their potential.
And I
And
mean,
rather
I don't know,
interestingly,
man. We get introduced to some people that might outshine my boy Mob.
yeah, dude, yeah, these guys are
Top
yeah.
notch. The best
But
psychics ever.
mhm. But but he gets the card from this man. He's like, hey, just come down. Actually, I believe if I remember correctly, he mistakes Ritsu for Mob because he's wanting Mob basically. Um, because they refer to him by Mob's first name, which is Shigeo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but that's what I did want to mention. There's a really nice. There's yet another sweet moment between Reagan and Mob earlier on, where because Mob's like feeling kind of shitty about the school situation with Teru.
Oh yeah. Mob's feeling terrible
And
about it.
Reagan we got also the fucking Tanga's like master plan of we're gonna make the person who defeated Teru our shadow leader.
Hell
And
yeah.
it's Mob. He has the name of White Tea Poison.
I think that is cool.
Um
And when we say white
uh,
tee, it's white t-shirt.
yeah.
Um, because I got completely messed up until I realized that they were talking about a t-shirt.
His t-shirt is white. White is white and then the capital T and then poison.
Whenever I
Because
heard
the reason why
white tea poison, I was thinking actual
it's
tea.
yeah. And then the poison comes from them whenever they're saying they're going to try to get poison to fight the poison, which would be the black vinegar delinquents.
Right.
So
Um,
Ma, that'd be one is white tea, and he is the poison that is sent to take out the fight, basically fight poison with poison.
exactly. But
But anyways,
after all that,
we get introduced to the student council, and man, are these guys fucking strict.
they're not even that strict as much as they are, just very upright about themselves.
Yeah.
They're just trying to do what's in best for the school.
Hmm.
Um, it's not that they're strict; they're just trying to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Yeah.
But the president has other ideas.
Yeah, man, fuck this man, fuck this guy. This
Man,
this guy is
Prez
added
is
to the
the
list.
dirty cop.
This
Like,
this guy is on my list of fucking Shinjis that are fucking like absolute fucking shit heels. I don't know what it is with a lot of characters named Shinjis, but a lot of them usually end up being fucking traitorous, fucking backstabbing assholes. Um, but anyways, we get a nice little scene where Mob is psychic watching with Tomei, and we get a threatening aura from a mysterious hoodie man.
ooh, yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah,
Foreshadowing and all that whatnot.
and ah man,
Um,
okay, we get to talk about the squad now.
oh
The
yeah,
side the kids. So should I introduce the kids and their amazing abilities?
yes, please.
Okay, we're gonna start with Takashi Hoshino.
Hell
A
yeah,
psychic. He's a psychic, all right? He can bend spoons by a centimeter.
yeah. He's
And he's
the
got fabulous hair.
yeah. He's the Elvis psychic.
He looks like that guy from My Hero Academia. He's got the belly button laser.
I was thinking more space dandy haircut, but
He
sure.
also he also he also has his space dandy hair.
He literally
We
has
got
space dandy's haircut.
yeah. We got Go Asahi, the pyrokinetic that burns the fury of a matchbox. We got Rei Kurosaki, a clairvoyant who is only mostly right.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Daichi Shiratori, the first half of the telepathic duo.
Hell yeah.
Kaito Shiratori, Steve,
Steve.
because
He
he's a
literally
square.
look, my boy busted out of
He's a fucking
Minecraft and said, "Let's do
you
this. I'm in the
Steve
real
with
world now."
you Steve with glasses.
He really
And then we
is
got
though.
and then we got Mitsura. We got our boy Mitsura, who's like he's the founder of the Awakening Lab. But yeah, these are our kids who are all have really lame and inefficient psychic abilities. They
Exactly.
got
But
they got potential, but man, I love how like intentionally like lame and like unimpressive their shit is.
yeah, so honestly though, there's a lot to unbox in this episode.
Yeah,
Essentially what's going on is Ritsu's trying to untap his abilities of being a psychic. So he, takes these little classes and he gets frustrated because he can't bend a spoon.
because you can't
But
bend spoon.
he said, "Screw this, I'm leaving." Throws the spoon down and leaves. But
Oh, that's towards the end of the episode because there's the whole thing with the class president and Shinji. Not
yeah, I
Shinji, but
know,
with the class president and Tanga.
I know, but I'm getting to it.
Yeah.
I'm just wrapping around it weirdly.
Okay. All right. All right.
Essentially, he throws his spoon down and it moves on. And basically,
Yeah.
what's going on is before all this, he gets pulled into a scheme that the president had. That is
Yeah.
essentially brought on by the president's brother just getting inside of his head.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So one thing I love the scene when Shinji comes home, and you actually get an insight into why he's doing what he's doing, and that is because he basically his brother was the president before him,
right.
and he feels like he is held on this huge pedestal,
Yeah.
and he and it's fun. And we get to his room, and his room's fucking nasty. It's got trash bags
It's
everywhere.
fucking disgusting
Like
for real.
he's got serious fucking like he has a huge inferiority complex.
Man,
And but yeah, like you just see like, oh dude, this guy is fucking like he's
awful.
got
But
he's like he is in the fucking mentally just in the fucking dumps.
yeah, but at the beginning of the episode,
Hmm.
it introduced Ritsu's idea of trying to get the delinquents out of the school, or not like out of the school, but
Yeah,
to deal with
no,
them.
so basically put them in their place, like
And
basically.
the president had different ideas on the matter, and at the same
Hmm.
time, introducing the scheme, which was framing the leader of the gang, which
Yeah,
is
poor Tinga.
poor Tinga, gets framed
And
with taking all of the girls' flute tips and
they
stashing
were they
them.
were recorders, but yeah, just taking
It's
all like the pieces.
the
Either way,
same
so
thing.
it's an instrument, but they take all the pieces and um they stash them in his bag.
But essentially, he comes in, he has no idea what's going on. And he just gets the whole class is just like, I can't believe this. You're a pervert, all this other crap, man. Just making
Hmm.
Tinga just feel awful. And I got the coolest
Yeah.
line that I wrote in here.
Hmm.
Or not line, but like I just kind of wrote it. I guess I was like tired or whatever.
Yeah.
It says, "Redeem yourself, brother, for your perverted tendencies are just shamefully deplorable, and you must be punished.
Uh-huh.
Shun the man, for he sins."
And you get I feel so bad for him because like it scans around like the entire like room, and he looks, he's like, oh, my childhood, he's like, oh, my childhood friend, um she'll have my back, she should.
Right. So she should have my back.
And then it cuts, he finds her face in the crowd, and she immediately just scoffs at him.
Yeah, and it's like she even hits him with a pervert. And it
Hmm.
really that
And it
sucks.
destroys him.
So he reverts over, which that might be in the next episode, so we probably need to wait.
Hmm.
But essentially he's just getting broken down and the whole school is following with it. But my
Yeah.
boy
And
Ritsu, with all of this guilt, all of this pressure, all of this,
yeah.
things that he's shamefully doing against everyone, it pulls him
Uh-huh.
back into what I was talking about earlier with the spoon being thrown. Uh,
Hmm.
he runs to think that he's not really going to tap into his power because he's feeling so bad about the other thing. He just doesn't care at this point. When he throws the spoon and releases that anger, uh, he doesn't see it, but they pick the spoon up and the spoon
And
is
it's
bent.
bent. Yeah.
So through all of this guilt and
Um
all this pressure that was leaned and pushed onto him and trapped him into like a villain arc, it tapped into his potential power, which
hmm
honestly ends the episode to start a really cool arc. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so honestly,
There
that's it on that episode.
that's it. Yeah. There's there's some other little things I'd like to mention before we call it here. Here's where I first noticed it, but a lot of characters have this really cool fucking green outline. And I first noticed it on like Tenga's jacket because that's like the most noticeable.
Right.
But most characters have that fucking Tenga. One thing I noted was um Tenga, he despite him being delinquent, he has a perfect attendance record. Meaning he's like, even though he has like this reputation of being like a big this like big delinquent guy, he still is like a good student. Like he does his work and whatnot.
Yeah, Tinga is.
He's
It's
not.
not that he literally was talking about how he's gonna ruin his perfect attendance, which
Yeah.
essentially is trying to. I keep saying essentially, it's terrible. Um, in a so he's a bad kid in the sense that
Hmm.
he's actually like in a gang, but I think it's more or less just a
Yeah.
front. Because
Yeah.
this is where they start throwing Ritsu into the villain arc and Tenga into an uprise. of
Yeah, and
sorts.
because there's this really cool thing where Tenga is like fucking down on his luck.
This is in the next
And
episode, though.
what does that's in the okay.
Yeah, this is on forward
I
into
thought I had
episode 7.
I thought I had a note on it, but anyways, let me see. Let me make sure.
No, because it
Oh
introduces a
no,
lot
there
more.
yeah. Well, there is a scene with Goda and Tenga, but it's not like the scene. Oh, I love when Goda's absolutely devastated. There's a cool fucking watercolor shot of him like super like dejected.
Go to that's.
Not Goda Masashi. He's the leader of the Body Improvement Club.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Because he
okay.
talks to them like how he should go on a similar path that Mob is.
Yeah, so basically he's telling him to better himself through
Yeah,
exercise. And honestly, if you really think about it, exercise is so good for people on
it
multiple
is. It
levels. It can really
I can't.
help
T-
with
I
your like thought process of things. It can really help with
hmm
your attitude in general. It really helps with your aggression and anger. And
hmm But
um,
like that's this one thing. Like I haven't exercised in a while, but I remember when times whenever I was exercising somewhat regularly, like you usually after the fact you'd feel like super good about yourself.
right.
Um,
When I was going to the gym in high school, whenever I lost almost 100 and something pounds, oh man, it felt so good. So, it just boosts your
hmm
entire sense of confidence about yourself. I completely changed who I was. I went from this like really shy, secluded, fat ginger kid who always got made fun of to
hmm
like skinny, not toned up, but very confident to the point. I wouldn't say super confident, but I was confident in myself. I started making more friends. I changed my attitude. I started being more involved.
hmm
Things really change whenever you start doing things for yourself, as in like bettering yourself. So I like
Yep.
the dynamic that they give with Goda and Tenga. So,
Yeah.
but with
Um,
with all this,
well,
Bob Stoner really
speaking
should.
of cool, uh, one last thing. Speaking of cool Tenga shots, there's also a cool sketchbook looking shot
What
of
now?
him. There's a shot of Tenga. I think it's when he's talking with Goda or something, but it's like a sketchbook like looking shot. If you remember that,
I think you're talking about the scene where
like
when he's getting made fun of by the classmates.
no, that's an entirely different one. There are two stylized shots of Tenga. There's that one, and there's another one where it's like an outline like sketchbook. Actually, it might be in the same sequence that the two shots happen.
I'm not entirely
But
sure, but
there's a watercolored version, and then there's like this other version is like a black and white sketchbook look to it.
oh wait, no,
Um,
it's when he was sitting down and Goda was about to talk to him, and he looked super like out of it. That's when he stopped
mhm.
going to class and all this other stuff, and he was
Yeah,
sitting
yeah,
down
that's
there
what it
just
was.
broken. I know what you're talking about.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, even though it's kind of disjointed, that's the first 6 episodes of Mob Psycho 100.
yeah. So this
Um,
episode ran on a little bit longer than usual, just because there's
there's
so
a lot to
much to
talk
get
about.
into, especially the first 6 episodes. Just because of all the
Yeah.
characters that are involved, all of the dynamics that there is to be had, all the powers, all the morality to it. There was just a bunch to get into. Um,
hmm and of course, our just overall excitement with talking about the
oh my
series.
gosh, man, this
Yeah.
this was an exciting series.
But
I
man,
got
I
super
can't wait.
hyped
I
because
can't wait to record the second episode.
oh, me either, dude. Oh, because the second part gets really, really into some of the really awesome fight scenes. Um,
Yeah.
and honestly, I might make another intro with some of the other dynamic characters and their powers and stuff. Just because I focus more on Mob because that's what's shown in the
hmm
first 6 episodes on this one. So I might think about making a different intro. So the one that y'all
Uh,
see on this one is going to be a little bit different than the one on the second series or the second
yeah,
half,
maybe. But
possibly.
But anyways, we really enjoyed it. We hope you guys enjoyed it.
Always.
We're fucking super excited. Super excited for the second season as well.
Oh yes, we're gonna jump into
Um,
it pretty soon.
yeah. So, but anyways, I'm Bobso, the Yoda Weeb,
And I'm Red, the bald-headed wonder.
and we are the Anime
The
Boys.
anime boys. See ya.
All right, see ya.